The night was silent. The small town of Greenfield slept under a dark sky filled with stars that looked brighter than usual. John Miller, a 24-year-old mechanic, was walking home from his night shift. The air was cold, and the streets were empty. He always took the shortcut through the old football field, but tonight something felt strange. The wind stopped. The air became heavy, and the stars above seemed to move. John stopped walking. He looked up. One of the stars was growing bigger. It was not a star. It was a light, coming closer, faster than anything he had ever seen. Suddenly, the light exploded silently. A silver ship, smooth like liquid metal, appeared in the sky. It hovered above the field, glowing softly, and then slowly landed. John's heart raced. His hands were shaking, but he couldn't move. This was not a dream. A door opened on the side of the ship. A bright blue mist poured out. From the mist, a figure walked down. She was tall, glowing faintly, with skin like polished pearl and eyes that shimmered like two moons. She wore a long silver dress, decorated with glowing symbols that John had never seen before. She stopped in front of him and spoke in a calm but powerful voice. Human male. Identify yourself? John could barely breathe. I'm John, he said, his voice cracking. The alien woman looked at him with curiosity. John, I have crossed 9 galaxies for you. John blinked. For me. She stepped closer, her presence warm and cold at the same time. I am Princess Solera of the Vyari Empire. My people are dying. Our law demands that I choose a mate from Earth. John's mind went blank. This was insane. You want a mate from here? Yes, she said. And I have chosen you. John stumbled back. Wait. Why me? I'm just a mechanic. I fix cars. There are millions of people better than me. Princess Solera tilted her head slightly, studying him like a rare creature. It is not about strength or wealth. Our ancient prophecy speaks of a human with a heart unbroken by greed. You were marked the night you saved the child from the river. John's heart skipped a beat. That was 2 years ago. A small boy had fallen in during a storm, and John had jumped in without thinking. Nobody else even remembered it. How do you know about that? He whispered. Her eyes glowed brighter. We have watched Earth for a long time. The ground trembled suddenly. From the forest behind the field, strange dark shapes emerged, all metallic, with glowing red eyes. They moved like hunters. Solera turned sharply, her hand lifting as a blue shield surrounded them both. They followed me, she said, her voice now urgent. Assassins from the Krylon fleet. They want to stop the Union. John looked at the creatures. They were closing in. Union. Wait, I never said yes. She looked at him with a strange mix of fear and determination. If you want to live, come with me now. The assassins fired beams of red light. The shield shook but held. John had no time to think. He ran with her into the ship. The door closed, and the ship lifted silently, leaving the field behind. Inside, the walls were smooth and glowing with soft blue lines. John sat down, breathing heavily. The princess looked at him with a calm, unreadable face. You have questions, she said. John laughed nervously. Questions? I don't even know where to start. Who are those things? Why me? What do you mean by mate? Are you even human? She placed her hand on a floating crystal, and a map of stars appeared in the air. I am not human. I am Vyari. My people cannot survive much longer. We need a union with a human to heal the rift disease spreading through our race. Your DNA is the match. John stared at her. So you want me to leave Earth? To marry you? Solera didn't smile. It is more than marriage. It is survival, but I will not force you. Yet, if you refuse, the Krylon will hunt you, and Earth will be in danger. John looked out the window. Earth was already shrinking behind them. "Wait, we're leaving now." "Yes," she said. "Your world is no longer safe." He felt his stomach twist. His life had changed in a single night. A few hours ago, he was fixing cars. Now, he was being taken across the stars by an alien princess who claimed he was the key to saving her people. But deep inside, something told him this was only the beginning. The assassins, the prophecy, the strange way her eyes glowed when she looked at him. Nothing about this was simple. And somewhere, in the cold space ahead, something much darker was waiting. The ship moved through space like a silent arrow. John pressed his face against the window, staring at the fading blue planet behind. His home, his family, his life, it was all vanishing into the black ocean of stars. Princess Solera stood beside a glowing panel, her fingers dancing over strange symbols. The ship hummed as it entered a tunnel of blue light. John finally spoke, his voice low. "Where are we going?" Zalora did not look at him. "To the Vale sector. It's a safe place for now." John shook his head. "Safe? You call this safe? I don't even know you. And those things back there, they tried to kill us." She turned her silver eyes toward him. "They will not stop. The Kralin want me dead before I can form the bond." John leaned back in the seat. "Bond? You keep saying that. What does it even mean?" She hesitated. For a moment, her perfect calm face softened. "The bond is not only physical, it is a merging of life force. It can heal my people, or destroy them if broken." John frowned. "So I'm just some kind of medicine to you?" "No," she said firmly. "You are more than that. You were chosen because of who you are." Before John could reply, the ship's lights turned red. A loud alarm echoed through the cabin. Zalora's fingers moved quickly on the panel. "No, they found us already." On the screen, 3 dark shapes appeared, cutting through the tunnel of light. Kralin hunters' sleek, sharp ships, glowing with red patterns like open wounds. "They're fast," she whispered. The ship jerked suddenly as a red beam hit its side. John grabbed the seat. "We're hit. Hold on." Zalora's voice was calm but sharp. She pulled a lever, and the ship dropped out of the blue tunnel into open black space. Stars stretched in every direction. The hunters followed, their red lights getting closer. Zalora pressed a crystal, and a hidden compartment opened. Inside was a strange rod, glowing faintly. She handed it to John. "Take this." John stared at it. "What is this? A stick?" "It is a plasma staff. If they board us, you must defend yourself." John laughed nervously. "I fix cars, remember? I don't fight aliens with glowing sticks." She didn't smile. "You will learn." The ship shook again. Sparks flew from the ceiling. One of the hunters latched onto their side like a spider. A loud hiss echoed through the ship as the airlock sealed itself. "They are coming in," she said. The door at the far end opened with a blast. 3 Kralin soldiers stepped in tall. Dark armor, red eyes, weapons like burning spears. Zalora raised her hand. Blue energy formed a shield. The Kralins fired red beams that splashed against it. John ducked behind a chair, heart pounding. "Go!" she shouted. "Get to the core room." I can't leave you." John yelled. "You must. The bond will not work if you die here." John gripped the plasma staff. It hummed in his hands. He didn't know how, but when one Kralin leapt toward him, his body moved. He swung the staff, and a blue arc of energy cut through the air, knocking the creature back with a hiss of sparks. He stared at the staff, shocked. I hit him." "Good," Zalora shouted, holding off the other 2 with a wave of blue force. John ran through the corridor, the staff glowing in his hands. The ship was shaking badly now. He reached the core room, a round chamber with a floating sphere of white light. Suddenly, his head throbbed. A voice echoed inside his mind. Not Zalara's, dark, cold. Human, you do not belong to her. John looked around. Who's there? The light flickered. From the shadows, a shape formed, a tall, thin figure with a face like cracked glass and eyes burning red. She will use you, the voice hissed. The bond will kill you, and your world will fall. Join us. Help us end her line. John stumbled back. You're not real. You're just in my head. The figure's long fingers reached out. You have a choice. Come with us, and Earth will live. Stay with her, and Earth will burn. Before John could answer, Zalora burst into the room, panting, her silver dress torn at the side. John, do not listen to it. The shadow faded, leaving only the pulsing light of the core. Zalora grabbed his arm. The Krowlins are inside. We must jump now. Jump, jump where? She pulled a crystal from her wrist and slammed it into the core. The sphere exploded with blue light, and suddenly the ship twisted, space bending like water. John felt his body stretch, his mind blank, and then silence. They were floating above a giant planet covered in swirling green clouds. Strange towers floated in the sky, connected by bridges of light. Welcome, Zalara said, breathing heavily to Vyari space. John sat on the floor, dizzy, heart racing. What was that thing in my head? She didn't answer immediately. Her eyes glowed faintly again, but this time there was fear in them. The Krylon leader, she said quietly. Okay? And now he knows your mind. John swallowed hard. What does that mean? It means, she said, you are already marked. The planet below shone like an emerald nightmare, and John realized this was far from over. The Krylons would not stop. And whatever the bond was, it might be more dangerous than he thought. The city floated above the green clouds like a giant crown made of light. Towers rose high, glowing with soft energy. Bridges of crystal connected them, and strange creatures flew between the buildings, leaving trails of silver sparks. John walked beside Princess Ilora, still holding the plasma staff. His eyes darted everywhere. Everything felt unreal, too bright, too alien. Stay close, Zalora said quietly. The council will not all welcome you. John frowned. Council, so they rule this place? Yes. They are the elders of Vyari. Some will see you as hope. Some will see you as a threat. They entered a large hall with walls that pulsed faintly like a living heart. At the center stood a circle of tall figures dressed in flowing robes. Their faces were sharp, their eyes glowing in different shades, blue, green, silver. One of them stepped forward. So, this is the human. His voice was cold. This small creature is to save our race. Zalora bowed her head. He is the one the prophecy spoke of. The elder snorted. Prophecy, stories for children. He is weak. The Krylon will kill him before dawn. John crossed his arms. I can hear you, you know. Some of the elders murmured. Another spoke, a female with a voice like soft bells. If the prophecy is true, we must protect him. If it is not, he brings danger. Zalora raised her voice. The Krylon already marked him. They will not stop. The bond must begin soon. John frowned. Again with the bond. What exactly will it do? The female elder looked at him. It will link your life to hers. It will heal the rift disease that kills us. But it is painful. And if your spirit is weak, it can burn you from inside. John's throat went dry. Burn me, and you expect me to just say yes? You have little choice, the elder said coldly. The Krylon will destroy you either way. The council argued for a while. At last, they agreed to start the ritual at dawn. That night, Zalera took John to a quiet balcony. The stars above the city shimmered in strange patterns. I know you are afraid, she said softly. I am too. John leaned on the railing. Back on Earth, my biggest problem was paying rent. Now, I'm supposed to save an entire species. You were chosen for your heart, she said, not your strength. He glanced at her. Is this bond going to kill me? She looked away. I do not want you to die. For the first time, John saw something real in her fear, and something else he couldn't name. The next morning, the sacred chamber opened. It was a round hall with walls of moving light. In the center floated a large crystal, glowing blue. Xylora stood in a silver robe. John felt his chest tighten. He was just a man, standing in the middle of a world that was not his. The elders began to chant. The crystal pulsed. Suddenly, a shadow moved in the corner. A figure in a black cloak slipped behind the guards. His hand held a device that blinked red. John's eyes widened. Hey, too late. The device exploded, tearing the wall open. A gust of hot air rushed in. Alarms screamed. From the sky, dark ships descended Kralin hunters, dozens of them. Red lights cut across the city. Betrayal. One elder cried. Guards fell as beams of red fire tore through the hall. The sacred crystal cracked. Xylora grabbed John's arm. We must go. Now, they ran as the chamber collapsed behind them. Bridges of light broke apart. Towers burned. The sky city shook like a dying heart. Kralin soldiers swarmed the streets, their red eyes scanning. Civilians screamed and scattered. Explosions painted the clouds below. John gripped the plasma staff tighter. Someone told them, someone in the council. Xylara's face was pale. Yes, there's a spy among us. A blast hit the bridge behind them. The ground split. John and Xylora barely jumped to the next platform as the bridge fell into the green clouds. Where now? John shouted. To the core spire, she yelled. If we can reach it, we can still perform the bond. John glanced at her, breathing hard. In the middle of all this, 'tis the only way. They ran through the burning city, the sound of screams and metal filling the air. The sky above was no longer peaceful, it was a battlefield. Behind them, a Kralin soldier leaped from the flames, its blade glowing red. John turned, swung the staff, and sparks exploded as the blade hit his weapon. He pushed back with all his strength, and the creature fell off the bridge. Not bad for a mechanic, Xylora said, a faint smile touching her lips. Don't get used to it, John panted. I'm still terrified. As they reached the core spire, a massive explosion lit the horizon. A tower collapsed like a dying star. Pieces of crystal rained down. And then, the sky darkened. A giant ship, larger than anything John had seen, emerged from the clouds. Its shape was like a claw reaching for the city. Xylora stopped, her eyes wide. The Kralin flagship. John stared at it. That thing is here for me. No, she whispered. It is here to end us all. The wind roared. The spire shook. And above the noise, a voice entered John's mind, again the same cold whisper as before. Human, your time is almost over. Choose wisely. John clutched his head. Get out of my mind. Xylora grabbed his shoulders. What is it? What do you hear? They want me to betray you, he said through clenched teeth. They promised to spare Earth, but I give you to them. Her silver eyes locked onto his. And what do you want, John Miller? He didn't answer. He couldn't. The city burned around them. The flagship's shadow swallowed the sky. And somewhere deep inside, John felt it, the bond pulling at him, waiting. The sky city was breaking apart. Towers burned, bridges cracked, and the green clouds below swallowed falling debris. The Kralin flagship loomed above like a dark mountain, its red lights glowing like wounds in the sky. John stood with Princess Xylora on the edge of the core spire, the plasma staff in his hands shaking. The cold voice still echoed in his mind. Human, you cannot win. Give her to us, and Earth will be safe. Resist, and your planet will burn. He closed his eyes, trying to shut it out. Get out of my head. Zalara's grip tightened on his arm. Her silver eyes searched his face. John, listen to me. The bond can stop them, but only if we do it now. John looked at her, sweat on his forehead. You said the bond could kill me. It can, she admitted, but without it, we all die. A loud crash cut their words short. Kraylan soldiers landed on the platform, their red eyes fixed on them. Blades of dark energy extended from their arms. Run, Xylara shouted. They ran across the trembling bridge as the soldiers followed, firing beams that scorched the path. The plasma staff hummed as John swung it, blocking a strike and sending a soldier crashing into the abyss. They reached the heart of the spear-around chamber with a cracked crystal core. Sparks danced around it. This is it, Xylara said. Place your hand here. John stared at the crystal. And then what? Then you and I will become one, she said softly. Your life will flow into mine. It will heal the rift. It will give me the strength to fight them. And if I'm not strong enough... Her voice was quiet. Then you will die. The Kraylan soldiers entered the chamber. Behind them, the leader finally appeared tall, cloaked in black metal, his face like broken glass, eyes burning red. Do you see, human? His voice thundered in John's head. She will drain you like a candle. Join me, and you will live. I will send you back to your world, rich, safe, untouched. John's heart pounded. He saw Earth in his mind, his small house, his quiet street, his simple life. And then he looked at Xylarund, breathing hard, still standing between him and the enemy. He remembered the river, the child he saved without thinking. He didn't do it for reward. He did it because it was right. John raised his head. I made my choice. He slammed his hand onto the crystal. Blue light exploded, wrapping around him and Xylara. The Kraylan leader screamed, a sound that shook the air. The bond poured into John like fire and ice. He felt his heart racing, his veins burning. Memories flashed his childhood, his parents. Every moment of his life merging with visions of alien skies, strange oceans, a dying race, begging for life. John, Xylara cried, gripping his hands. Hold on, he screamed, but he didn't let go. The light burst outward. A wave of energy tore through the chamber, ripping the Kraylan soldiers apart. The flagship above cracked like glass and shattered into the clouds. The city stopped shaking. The fires dimmed. Silence spread. When John opened his eyes, he was lying on a soft, silver bed. The room was quiet, filled with warm light. Xylara sat beside him, her wounds healed, her eyes softer than ever. You lived, she whispered. John tried to sit up, his body weak but alive. What happened? The bond worked, she said. The rift is gone. My people are safe. The Kraylan fleet is broken. He touched his chest. It still glowed faintly where the crystal had burned him. And me? Am I? Still me. You are, she said gently. But you are also part of us now. The door opened. The Vyari Council entered, their faces humbled. You have saved us, one elder said. The prophecy was true. Xylara looked at John. Now comes the final choice. Stay here as my mate, my equal, the Prince of Vyari. Or return to Earth. We will send you back with honor. You will remember everything. John looked out the window. Stars stretched in every direction. Far away, a small blue planet floated his home. He thought of his quiet life. He thought of the child he saved. The people who never knew his name. And he thought of this place, this war, this strange bond that had turned him into something more. Xylara reached for his hand. Whatever you choose, I will not stop you. John smiled faintly. You know, I never asked for this. "No," she said softly. "But you were the only one who didn't run." He stood, still weak, but his steps were firm. "Then maybe it's time I stop running." That night, the Sky City floated peacefully again. The Vaeri sang songs of victory. John stood on the balcony, the stars reflected in his eyes. Earth was far, but not forgotten. "This is only the beginning," he whispered. And somewhere in the cold dark, beyond the stars, a new shadow stirred.